Hey guys, this is Anthony, and welcome to Millennium Rewind. Today we are talking about Degrassi Season 1, Episode 3, called Family Politics. Will Ashley Kerwin become class president? Is Toby just jealous? We finally meet Paige. All of this and more in Family Politics. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. Welcome to Millennium Rewind.
Turn back the clock. It's time for Millennium Rewind.
All right, so Degrassi, Season 1, Episode 2, Family Politics. We meet a bunch of new characters. This is the first day back to Degrassi High School, and we see the main characters that we met last week, Manny, JT, Emma, and Toby, interact with new characters that we meet this episode. So the episode starts off and we see Ashley Kerwin. She's on the phone talking to her friend Terry, and she's telling her how she's excited for the upcoming school year, and they're going to make this one the best one ever. And she hangs up to work on her election posters and get ready for school. Have you ever been this excited to go back to school? Ashley Kerwin is super excited. It seems like she has a lot to prove this school year back. I remember being in high school, being excited to go back. She might be in 8th grade. I don't know, whatever. But, you did get excited when you would go back to school after not seeing people for the summer. So I understand Ashley's excitement. And she's talking to her friend. So cool. So we see Ashley tries to go to the bathroom, but Toby's already in it. Toby refuses to leave. They have an argument, and we find out they are not biological siblings, but they are forced to cohabitate because their parents, so Ashley's mom and Toby's father, they are living together and they are dating. So basically, they are step siblings. Ashley yells, takes to the bathroom, and he ends up making fun of Ashley and her training bra. And she yells out, "Mom." I obviously have never experienced a training bra, so I wouldn't know if that's, not something I would want to see. But yeah, she's upset at her stepbrother. So then we see the first day of school. Toby complains to JT about how he doesn't like Ashley, and Ashley complains to Terry about how annoying Toby is. But that's when they run into Paige, and Paige is the blonde with the, red glasses. The sure this is hottie. And Paige says her famous line, "New year, new look, new Paige." So she, is excited to be back in school and prove herself. Ashley is putting up posters, and basically Paige says to her, "Of course you're putting up posters, not paying attention to your appearance." So Paige obviously cares a lot about what people think of her and her appearance. So then Emma and Manny, they're in 7th grade. They walk into 2 8th graders, and we meet Jimmy and Spinner. Jimmy, as you know, is Drake. He goes on to sell a bunch of records. But anyways, right now they're in Degrassi. And basically, Jimmy and Spinner pick on Emma and Manny because they are 7th graders and they're considered losers. We then meet Liberty, as well as we are reintroduced to Mr. Simpson. Somewhere else in the building, the 8th graders, we meet their homeroom teacher, Miss Kwan. And Miss Kwan is very no-nonsense. She basically commends Ashley for starting her campaign so early on in the year and thinks that she's so great. So after homeroom, they look at Ashley's posters around school, and Toad's upset that nobody is running against her. So he asked JT if he would run as a joke campaign to make Ashley sweat a little bit. Basically wants to cause the stepsister a lot of trouble. At first, JT's a little hesitant, but Toby says, "Listen, I'll do all the work, you just got to play the part." So Liberty interrupts Ashley and introduces herself. She says that she's running for secretary and would like to discuss the lack of school newspapers at Degrassi, but Ashley tells her let's wait until after the election. Meanwhile, Toby's in the immersion room making flyers and posters. He's making a bunch of them. There's probably about 100 papers that are flying out. Mr. Simpson comes in and tells him that's 10 cents a copy. So Toby tries to stop it really quick because obviously he doesn't have a lot of money. He's in 7th grade, people. So then they see Ashley and Terry walk down the hall, and they see that JT is running for election. And Toby says that it will change this year, and mocks Ashley, saying that she's afraid of a little competition. So JT begins his campaign, and basically he says he's going to do what a real politician would do, absolutely nothing. Ashley starts a campaign addressing real issues such as a recycling program and getting the school a nighttime dance. But JT is very humorous. A lot of the people like his charisma, and so they really like JT. So at home, Ashley yells at Toby for running JT's campaign. She asks her mom, Kate, if that's right, that he's doing it. And Kate says, listen, you can't be mad at him for helping out his friend. You know, he chose to go with his friend. That's his decision. And Ashley has a little hissy fit. No one likes me here, blah, 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 blah. So the next day, it says that JT has more support than Ashley with 52% of the vote. JT really does not want to win. He just wanted to make Ashley sweat, and that was basically his whole point of running. He didn't want to win. He just wanted to mess with Ashley a little bit for Toby. Well, JT might be in a little bit of trouble because he gets dragged by Jimmy and Spinner into the gymnasium changing room where Ashley's waiting. She basically tries to bribe JT with $50 to quit the school race for president. He says he doesn't accept money, but his parents will be crushed if he loses. So he ends up having Ashley pay him $80 for him to quit in front of the entire school running as president. So Jimmy and Spinner, they make fun of Emma and Manny, and they blow a spitball at her, making Manny cry, and Emma comforts Manny, tells her to go away. Terry gets mad at the boys, and they feel guilty. Then afterwards, Manny was fake crying, and she did it only to make Spinner stop. So, smart Manny, very smart. And then Toby tells JT he's wrong for loaning out the money. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Toby is wrong? Well, not Toby. Ashley is wrong for bribing JT. I mean, JT really didn't even want to win. He was only doing it to mess with Ashley. So I can understand Ashley being a little bit upset, but we'll see. So the election's about to begin, and we're about to find out what happened. And JT tells Ashley, I'm going to tell the whole school that you bribed JT with money to get him to quit. And Ashley gets upset, and she says, you know, the only reason why she runs for president is because her life is a disaster. She has no attention at home. Her mom cares about Toby more than her, and she says it's true. And she says that Toby's stolen everything she has at home. She just wanted one thing that he couldn't take away from her, being school president. Now, I think Ashley's being a little bit dramatic in my opinion. Although it's nice to be school president, you shouldn't use the excuse that you're unhappy at home for why you want to do it. It's good, you know, that she found a positive outlet to, you know, have fun and not be upset. But, you know, I mean, you can't get this to say at Toby. It's not like Toby wants to live with you either. Now, before we talk about what happened, I would like you to stop what you're doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and also hit the like button, because I want to have as many of you guys a part of this page. I appreciate all of you for listening. This is a fun podcast channel. We're going to be covering all other types of shows. Degrassi is the first show that we are covering, but you will see more. We also have another special show called Freaky Friday, FREEKY, where we talk about crazy phenomenon, ghost stories, all that good stuff. So make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, jump on into our time machine, get into Millennium Rewind, and also leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this week's episode. Back to the episode. So we're about to find out if JT is going to quit. Well, he does. He goes into the gym, he tells his speech, and he basically says he has officially quit the race for school president and tells the kids to vote for Ashley. Ashley's called on the stage, and basically Toby agrees not to tell the school that Ashley bribe JT. So that was nice of Toby. It kind of shows that he does care about Ashley and doesn't want to see her upset. That's a nice stepbrother. Later on, we see Jimmy walking Ashley home from school and congratulates her on winning the election. Toby congratulates her on winning and apologizes about what he had tried to do with setting up TJ. TJ, oh my goodness, JT. And then they both realize that as long as they're living in the same house, they have to try and at least try to get along better. Just because they're unhappy doesn't mean that they can't try to get to know each other a bit better. So that was it for this week's episode. It wasn't a great episode, definitely a bit sleepier compared to this episode, the last one. So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next week with another episode of Degrassi: The Next Generation. Thank you for listening.